Check 1, 2. All right, we're almost ready to go live here, so let's do it.
Just need to see you.
You're listening to Espresso Shots Live. Tune in every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. for your digital caffeine.
It's a little too on.
Okay, here we go, and action.
And welcome back to another episode of Espresso Shots. We're hoping we've got our audio and everything working tonight. We had some issues with that last time around, but I think we're good to go. So what's in your cup, folks? What are you guys drinking tonight? You got a nice cold beverage there with you? I'm having myself a coffee and one big glass of ice water as well. It was so humid in the village of Westport today. Really, really humid. So anyway, I've got a great little show lined up today. And as you can tell, the theme tonight is hair. And how's your hair? And I'm watching tonight on... I'm following along tonight on the show Espresso Shots. So if anybody's watching tonight on the Facebook page Espresso Shots and you want to chirp in, I'll chat back and forth a bit with you tonight. And if you want to chat a bit on the Jake by the Lake page, Cynthia's on that side of it, so she can respond and field any questions or maybe fire them to me as well. As always, we're running with about a minute delay on the program, so it's what you're hearing is about a minute. They say it's live, but it's actually 1 minute later than live. So. Anyway, without further ado, I have a few guests, and tonight I actually have a co-host with me. It's going to help me out, so I'm going to go to these guys and pull in my co-host and my guest, and I'm going to get them to help introduce themselves to you, who they are, what they're all about, what's going on. I can't tell you all the secrets to the show yet, because there's so much going on here. Hold on. All right. Now we just got to find our guests here. Where are they? I know they're here. They're hiding. There's Jess. Look at that. There's Jess. And we'll get Jeff in here in a second as well. I'm not sure why they're not showing up here in my feed right now. There's always a glitch somewhere. You know, it's always something that has to kind of go a little bit wrong, but that's okay. We'll get things figured out. How's it going, Jess? Do you got your ears on, Jess?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you pretty good. Can you hear me tonight?
I can hear you. It's lovely to hear your voice again.
Thanks. Well, thanks for co-hosting tonight's show. How do you like my hair? It's looking pretty wild, eh?
It is. You are pulling the COVID the hair. It's it's a little bit sexy, if I might say.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So I got a friend of mine named Jeff.
Don't tell Cynthia I said that, though.
No, I think she's watching anyway, Jess, so she wouldn't believe you.
Oh.
Hear you on the live stream right now, Jess, but can you just maybe say a few words and we'll get you tuned in here?
Can you hear me now? Can I use the quintessential term? Can you hear me now?
Back from Cynthia
Okay.
here. Ah, there's Mr. Jeff right there. Welcome to the show, Jeff. You want to give me an audio test? Can you hear me? Can you speak? Okay, I'm not sure what's going on with Jeff. Maybe he's
His,
on here. Can you give us a few words? Assistance from an arm there. That's good. Boy, chalked with technical difficulties tonight. Nobody is with me tonight. Here I am all by myself. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what's going on with Jeff and get him mic'd in.
Well,
Hey,
we're
Jeff.
supposed to have a mic here.
Welcome to the show.
You can hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
Hey, how's it going, John?
Not too bad.
Was.
Yes.
I'm so good, I make medicine feel sick. Gone tomorrow.
You've got a project. You're paired up with the Ottawa Mission under their. I guess maybe you can talk a bit about that. It's called.
Yes, that's right, John. What happened is a good friend of mine and he spent the last few weeks of his life in the hospice there at the Ottawa Mission. And the treatment he received was on May 11th, I heard a show on the Sunday edition, and Michael Enright was interviewing who we could obviously use right now on cutting your hair during the pandemic. Her final words of wisdom was, you can always knowledge. With that knowledge, I got in touch with the campaign on their website through their so what I did was I just solicited friends, and the minimum donation was $5. And I asked people to on what type. The campaign is currently at 260. I've made the goal that I had set. So
there it is right there. Share, smile,
now
give hope. Don't let the world change your smile. Ottawa Mission. So you've got some hairstyles lined up. Tell us about what you got lined up.
Well, there was one suggestion for, well, actually, there were a few suggestions for crust. There were a few more votes for Mr. T. The Mr. T Mandinka. There was also Yul Brenner from Ben Hur. But right now the leading vote is Rocket Man. It really looks like that's what we're going with.
Listen,
I've
Jeff,
jokingly said that.
Sorry about that, but are you going to shave the mustache as well?
No, I don't think so. No, but definitely the caterpillar. The caterpillar's got. That this is up a couple of photos. First thing I got for people's report. I have a nice people's, and I have a hat that I'm going to. That's my hair. It's a East Bloc kind of military hat. So we're going to have some fun with it.
I like it. What do you think, Jess?
I missed a lot of your conversation. I don't know why my feed sort of left there, but I did see what the running vote is, and it's going to be, I think it's going to be a new trend. I think it's going to be on social media. We should start a hashtag perhaps for it, and see what sort of response we get in other people joining the Kim Jong-un look.
Well, maybe I should do that too.
You know what? I'd be very happy to put on a mask and come over and do that for you.
So if I had to pick one of these styles, Jess, what do you think I would go with that look too? I like the Mr. T look.
I mean, you already are like Krusty the Clown a little bit, so I think that's out. I think there's some good choices.
Nice. Now, Jeff, are you still with us?
Yeah, the computer just nodded off, so we're back.
Nice. So we
it's
have.
The heat. I think it's the heat.
It's the heat.
It's not the heat; it's the humidity.
Is that what it is, Jeff? I gotta pull you back.
Speaking for someone who has curly hair, it's always the humidity that kills it.
Can you see him?
I don't know.
It's black, man.
I don't know if you can see me there, John.
I can hear you, but you're black. You're blacked out. But that's okay.
Yeah.
We'll just keep this beautiful picture right here up, and then you can just continue to talk about that.
Well, I sent you another picture of. I came in from weeding the garden, and I had a ball cap on and my sunglasses, and of course Nancy just burst out laughing. She said I looked like Maxine, the cartoon strip, with the baseball cap and the sunglasses. And when I looked at the picture, I realized, oh my God, she's right.
So Jeff, let's
So
just go
you
back.
being
Let's just go back, if you don't mind, to talk a bit about the Ottawa Mission and why you've chosen that organization. Now, I know it's been around since the early 1900s. I think 1911. So it's not a new group or an organization. It's helped a lot of people in a lot of different ways. They're not just based on one category, but they deal with all kinds of things. Maybe you can talk a bit about that, Jeff.
Yeah, the mission is really a frontline organization for some of the most marginalized people in the Ottawa community. They have a shelter. They have a soup kitchen. I believe they're still actually serving out a window on Bezerer because the pandemic has hit them, had quite an impact on them. But they keep operating. I was familiar with them because of the hospice. There are when you're terminally ill, they essentially they discharge you from the hospital because there's not really anything they can do for you. So you're left with a number of choices for palliative care, for short-term palliative care. And my buddy Jerry, he was kind of an adventurer, so he thought it would be, because it's right downtown Ottawa, he thought it would be a more entertaining place than, so that's why he chose the mission. But they're dealing with the most marginalized people in the community. And, like most communities, Ottawa has, its share of people who really need the help.
Yep.
So that was my choice. It was the whole COVID thing leaves us feeling rather powerless, doesn't it? What can we do, really? What can we really do? It's an unknown. You can't see it. How do you combat something you can't see? So the organizations that are still working on the front line, we like to give them support however we can. And laughter truly is at a premium sometimes. So, it's hair. So everybody just go ahead and laugh. It's just hair. It'll grow back. And it really doesn't matter. I suppose there's an added bonus is that if it looks really bad, people will be more apt to physically distance from me. So they might think the cheese slipped off my cracker. So it's not the end of the world.
You agree with that, Jess?
Yeah, absolutely. I think if people are having difficulty these days keeping their space or having people invade their space, it's definitely a way to go. And I really commend Jeff on doing what he can. It's really hard to volunteer or be somewhere in person to help organizations that really need it right now with the virus going on. But doing things like this that give everybody a little bit of humor while raising awareness and that sort of thing, goes a long way to those organizations that could use a little help right now.
Nice. And Jeff, so your goal was relatively small. It's only $300, and I think you've hit. No, it was $200, and you've exceeded that by a bit. But if people want to pitch in, they simply go to the Ottawa Mission page. I think there's a tab there called Events, and you can actually it's actually called Buzz Cuts. Your campaign?
My campaign is, it's called Buzz for Bucks.
Buzz for Bucks.
So it's a buzz for a few bucks. Yeah,
so
I can send you the link.
I'll put it in this feed, but they can just go there, click on Buzz for Bucks, make a donation to your campaign, or really any of the campaigns that are there. There's a bunch of great ones, and again, just trying to share a smile and raise some money for that mission.
Oh, absolutely, and we're actually having fun doing it. I'm going to kill myself laughing when I look in the mirror. Actually, it's going to be difficult because when Nancy's cutting it, she's going to be laughing and she'll probably get halfway done and say, "Okay, I'm done," and she'll walk away. she's giggling across the table because I know it's going to happen.
So what is the official date, Jeff, that you're going to actually get your hair cut?
Well, it might be Saturday. It's sort of weather dependent. Nancy's working from home, so she's busy during the day. Of course, I'm retired, so I'm just out in the yard doing yard work and trying to keep busy up here in the country. But I think on Saturday or this weekend, because it's to the point now where it's not nice.
It's not nice.
Yeah, it's really hot. It's really uncomfortable. It was hell when the black flies were out.
So is there any way we can change this haircut and go for the Mr. T? If I could double this number, this $280 that you're at, and we get that up to $600, can we get you into a Mr. T, dude?
It's all you have to do is make a donation and vote. And if there's enough, the minimum donation is $5. So if there's and if you come up with any other ideas for a haircut, anything goes. But the more votes, whoever. Right now, I think there was about 11 votes for Kim Jong-un.
Okay.
So, yeah. So if I think there were only 2 for Mr. T.
Yeah.
The Mr. T Mandinka, but we'll do whatever. It doesn't really matter to me. The difference between a good haircut and a bad haircut, that's only 2 weeks anyways.
That's right.
Power is in the person who holds the scissors.
And Nancy just said the power is with the one in control of the scissors.
Well, like Jess says, Jeff, I commend you for your efforts, and you're always one with a good joke, and you've got a great sense of humor, Jeff, and you're a compassionate man, and good on you, bud.
Well, thanks a lot, John, and thanks for the opportunity to sit in on a session. It was entertaining and as fun as always. And with a hat like this with social distancing, I'm already under control, right?
So don't leave yet. I don't know if you know this, but we actually have our own meteorologist on the show that does the Westport weather. So I'm going to slide over to the weather, Jeff, and then I'm going to come back and get final thoughts from you and from Jess.
Sounds good. It's just going to the weather. The guy that comes on to.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Happy McSunny, reporting to you live from Westport in the Rideau Lakes area. Today it's a beautiful sunny day, nice and warm and humid. Tomorrow we're going to have some wind, Saturday rain, Sunday sun, Monday rain. That's what's happening. And hopefully this weekend you're going to get your hairs cut. Back to you, John.
Final
That
thoughts?
Happy McSunny is in definite need of a haircut.
He is. So we're going to wrap it up tonight, folks. So let's get final thoughts from Jessica and then final thoughts from Jeff.
Oh, wow. Final thoughts. Let me have a sip of my water here, the Westport finest. It is hot today, and I'm lucky that I'm downstairs here at Jake by the Lake, where I work, and enjoying the air conditioning. So I'll thank Cynthia later for keeping it on for me. But anyways, again, I really just love to see stories like this, things that people like Jeff are doing. There's so much negativity right now, and we all need to be working towards a greater good, and what's happening in the world is hard. These little stories really just shed a little light of hope, and I love the humor that you bring to it, Jeff. Today, not to end on a little sour note, but today's sort of the 6-year passing of my dad, and he was a guy that appreciated humor like no other. And it's where I get mine. And, anytime I can see that in somebody else, it just makes me so happy. So thanks for sharing your story with us today.
To you, Jeff.
Well, Thanks for the kind words, Jessica, and yourself as well, John. It's been a real pleasure to be here today. And we'll send you the link to the campaign. And on that note, have a good evening.
Have a good evening, guys.
Night.
Well, there you have it, folks. Episode 6.5 of Espresso Shots Live. The great thing about going live is you never know what's going to happen. There's all kinds of things that can go right, but there's all kinds of things that can go wrong. But when things go right, it's just so priceless. And you know, I've enjoyed doing the show, and I continue to do the show, and we'll continue to bring you guests and new ideas. I'm really keen on learning a bit more about this victory gardening that was really prominent in the 40s, where because of the war efforts, everybody was planting a garden and taking the pressure off the food supply, and that seems to be where we're moving to right now, back to gardening and back to fresh foods. So maybe we'll take a little look closer at gardening next week. And if you have any ideas, shoot us off a message, send us an email, and we'll be glad to kind of add it to the show. So peace, love, and coffee. Have a great night, folks. We'll see you all next week.